So this question is like a number theory question. And we're basically given variables w, x, y, and z, and their whole numbers. And we're given this like weird condition here that like 2 to the w times 3 to the x times 5 to the y times 7 to the z is 588. And we want to find what the value of like 2w plus 3x plus 5y plus 7z equals. So like this might be like a kind of tricky problem. Okay. And basically the idea for this problem is you kind of want to do something called prime factorization. So let's first like take a look at the condition that we were given, right? We have 2 to the w times 3 to the x times 5 to the y times 7 to the z is equal to 588. And we want to find what the value of this thing equals. So the idea is we want to like relate 588 to these like prime powers, right? We have like 2 to the power of something, 3 to the power of something, same thing with the 5s and the 7s. So we want to somehow like manipulate the 588 to get like the thing on the left side. So I guess the first natural thing to do is like you see 588 is clearly even, right? So you might think about writing it as 2 times 294. 294 is just 588 divided by 2. So the reason we might think of doing that is because like you have a 2 here and you have a 2 here, which kind of makes like things like look similar on both sides a little more. And we can continue doing this process. You can write 294 as 2 times 147. 147 is just 294 divided by 2. So 2 times 2, I'll just write that as 2 squared. 147, now we notice 147 is not even anymore. So that means you can't write it as 2 times something. But it turns out it is divisible by 3. If you did 147 divided by 3, you would get, put a 4 here. 4 times 3 is 12. You get 2, 7. So it turns out 147 divided by 3, you would get 49. So I can write 147, right? I can write 147 as 3 times 49. And 49 you can write as 7 squared, right? 49 is a perfect square. It's equal to 7 squared. So I can write this as 2 squared times 3 to the power of 1. I just write a 1 there, times 7 to the power of 2. And now that we look at this, we're like happy because like you see like the thing on the left side is pretty similar to the thing on the right side. So we can kind of like determine what the values of w, x, y, and z are now. So we have 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 1 times 7 to the power of 2, which is this expression right there. But we notice there's no 5 anywhere. But that can be easily fixed because you can just write this as 2 to the 2 times 3 to the 1 times 5 to the 0 times 7 to the 2. 5 to the 0 is just 1, so that doesn't really do anything. You're just multiplying by 1. And now we're ready to solve the problem, right? Because we have 2 to the w, we have 2 to the 2. So that tells us w is 2. We have 3 to the x, 3 to the 1. So that tells us x is 1. We have 5 to the y, 5 to the 0, so y is 0. And you have 7 to the z and 7 to the 2, so z is equal to 2. And remember, the question wants us to find the value of 2w plus 3x plus 5y plus 7z. So we would just do 2 times w, so 2 times 2, plus 3 times x, 3 times 1, 5 times y, y is 0, so 5 times 0, and 7 times z, z is 2, so 7 times 2. So if we were to add these up, you get 4 plus 3 plus 0 plus 14, and you get 21, which is going to be choice A.